Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Start by Believing, a production that's brought to you by Citizens Against Family Violence. And I'm your host, Demaris Barber, the sexual assault victim advocate at Citizens Against Family Violence. We've been discussing the different campaigns that target domestic violence and sexual assault awareness, and what they do and how they operate. Well, today we want to talk about Citizens Against Family Violence and what we do and how we operate. And I am very glad to welcome our very own Executive Director, Warren Rodgers Jr. to the show. Welcome, Warren.
Well, thank you, Demaris.
So we're going to talk a little bit about Citizens Against Family Violence and what they do. So who is Citizens Against Family Violence?
Citizens Against Family Violence is a nonprofit organization located in Martinsville, Virginia. We serve Martinsville City, Henry County, and Patrick County in southwestern Virginia.
Okay.
We provide a whole variety of services, anything from crisis services to long-term support for survivors of violence to direct advocacy. We just have a whole multitude of services.
Okay. So what exactly does Citizens Against Family Violence do?
Okay. Well, and that, like I was saying, that multitude of services, we provide emergency shelter. We have 24-hour services that are available to anyone in the community that is experiencing violence, that may be fleeing from a domestic situation or someone who may have been raped and is at the hospital, needs somewhere to go. Like I said, our shelter is available 24 hours a day. We have trained crisis staff available 24 hours a day. We also maintain a Contact USA accredited hotline. So we have a hotline available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. This hotline is available for anybody with any type of crisis, whether it's just I'm lonely and I need somebody to talk to I'm thinking of harming myself or I'm thinking of harming someone else.
Okay.
So that's our 24-hour services, the base of our services. We also have advocates available 24 hours a day in the event that maybe someone is being abused and ends up at the hospital and would like some accompaniment at the hospital. Our advocates will come out in the middle of the night at any time that anybody needs somebody to be there to help them through that situation. And our advocates do all types of work.
Okay.
They are there to work on behalf of any type of victim of violence, rather. So that may include accompaniment at hospital. It could also mean in court, with someone to go with you through the legal process. You know, personally, I'm not real familiar with the legal process, and if I were needing to go through that, I think it would be really nice to have someone there to, you know, help guide me through and know what to expect and be there, because these domestic situations can be very, very traumatizing, you know, and lots of people might not want to follow through with a conviction or even pressing charges for that much. You know, so our advocates are there to just accompany the person through whatever situation that they may be facing.
Okay. And more so to provide support for the individual,
Right.
is what you're saying.
Provide support, and also to link the individual with, you know, appropriate other services.
Okay.
For instance, if they need our shelter. If they need shelter, we're there to provide shelter. If they need services that are beyond our scope, things that we're not trained to do, like if they need mental health counseling, we, you know, refer to other agencies. We work with lots of community agencies to make sure that people that seek our services get everything they need.
Okay. Good. So why is this type of service in our community needed?
Well, this type of service is needed in every community. Everything that we do, all services provided are free. You know, our community that we serve there's a lot of poverty. People don't have insurance. People can't afford counseling services. People are experiencing homelessness. That's something we also open up our shelter. While we are primarily a domestic violence shelter, we do open up our shelter to women and children who are experiencing homelessness. And that, unfortunately, is a huge need in our community. We do operate the only shelter in our service area. So our services are really, they're terribly needed in the area because people who are in crisis and may not have anywhere to go really don't have anywhere else to turn.
Okay. And I noticed that you said that we offer services to women and children. Is there services also available for men as well?
There are services available for men. Anyone who is experiencing violence has services available to them. We certainly do not discriminate based on sex. Our shelter, because it is a communal living situation, it's not there are not a bunch of individual rooms. It's not a hotel. Because it's a communal living situation, men cannot, for the safety of everyone staying at the shelter, men cannot stay at our emergency shelter.
Okay.
But if there's a man that's fleeing violence, we certainly will ensure that he has somewhere to stay and is safe.
Okay. So if an individual was needing services or seeking services from Citizens Against Family Violence, where would they go, or where would they start to be able to receive services from Citizens Against Family Violence?
People can get referred to us from lots of different agencies. Some people through the police department. The police department refers them to us. Others through the court system. Judges, magistrates refer people to us. If you're around the Martinsville, Henry County, Patrick County area, you'll see our brochures around. We've got purple brochures. I didn't think to bring any with me so people could recognize them, but they're purple brochures with all of our contact information. Our telephone number we can be reached 24 hours a day on our hotline number. That's 877-934-3576. We have also just recently opened a new office, a public office where people can just drop in. Our shelter is a confidential location, so it's not really open to the public and open for drop-ins, but we have opened a public office in Martinsville, uptown. It's at 22 East Church Street. Suite 300. So if anyone wants to come by, they can drop by and say hello. They can pick up brochures, information, seek out services right there. The number for our new office, and when I say new, I mean new in the last week. So the number to our new office is area code 276-403-4080.
Okay. So I noticed that you said at the beginning that Citizens Against Family Violence is a nonprofit organization. So with that being said, how is this type of organization funded or sustained?
We are funded through multiple grants. We receive grants through the Virginia Department of Community Development. We also receive grants through the Department of Social Services and the Department of Criminal Justice Services. Now, these 4 state agencies provide about a quarter of our operating budget. The other quarter, we rely on local support. Henry County Board of Supervisors provides us with an amount, Patrick County and the City of Martinsville as well. We're funded through local government. We're always looking for donations. We are always applying for other private grants for local monies to support our programs. But we do every year have to raise about $150,000 of local support in order to keep our programs going.
Wow. That's a big chunk of money.
It is.
$50,000.
It really is. And we're really blessed. We have a very giving community You know, people don't realize, they say, well, that's a huge number. So people don't realize that, you know, they think, well, I can't help. Well, people donate $25. Some people, $25 a month, every month. And that adds up over time.
That's right.
People also support us by volunteering. Our hotline is staffed primarily by volunteers, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Okay.
So there are always opportunities to help. If you can't help, people can't help financially. They can give and time. People that give their time is the only thing that you can't get back.
That's true. Okay. Well, thank you, Mr. Rodgers, for sharing this information with our community. And we hope that those who may not have an understanding of who Citizens Against Family Violence is, we hope that you now have a better understanding. And if someone is wanting to support Citizens Against Family Violence, Mr. Rodgers, before you leave, what would they need to do?
All the information, all of our contact information is listed on your slides here. Okay. On the background slides. Feel free to contact me. My email address is wrodgers, WRODGERS, @CAFV.info. Call my office, 403-4080. I'll be happy to talk with you about volunteer opportunities, or if you would like to give money, I'll be happy to talk with you about that also.
All right, well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we'll have a short video clip to show you. So we're going to take a break, and we'll be back.
There can be miracles when you believe. Oh, hope is free. It's hard to get.
Accidents happen, but Jim Mills Collision is here for you.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Cochran. I'm your painter at Jim Mills Collision, where we offer collision, insurance, and custom work, where we can make your vehicle unique to suit all your needs.
Have a small ding or dent? That's no problem. It's an easy same-day repair. Follow us on Facebook for discounts and coupons. Jim Mills Collision. Signature service by a name you can trust.
When it's time to add emergency backup power to your home, it's important to select a long-lasting, dependable brand. That's why Shively Electric recommends Kohler generators. Equally important but often overlooked is choosing a long-lasting, dependable dealer. Shively Electric has been serving Southwest Virginia since 1974. We're your Kohler certified dealer. For sales and service or how backup generators can benefit you, give your friends at Shively Electric Company a call today.
At Southern Virginia Properties, you will receive friendly, reliable service for all your real estate needs.
My experience with Southern Virginia Properties has been wonderful. I had an opportunity to work with Ms. Ellis Wilk. She is extremely hard worker, and I truly would recommend her to anybody.
We first met Marlene back in 2003 when looking for a home in the Collinsville area. We love her. She's just good at what she does. She has a passion for it.
Thank you.
Jim Mills Nissan is proud to announce the new arrivals for 2015. The all-new Maxima four-door future of sedans with the new floating roof design. Also seen in the stylish new design 2015 Nissan Murano. The all-new 2016 Nissan Titan has a new bold look. Nissan Note, the most affordable sedan with smartphone integration. It's an exciting year to buy at Jim Mills Nissan across from the Martinsville Speedway, or visit us at jimmillsnissan.com. You're watching BTW 21, your neighborhood network, the pride of Martinsville. Suit City in Collinsville has everything 50% off. Suit City has the largest selection of choir and church robes, 50% off. Suit City has boys' suits, 50% off, with a large selection to choose from. Slim fit suits on sale, 50% off, only at Suit City. All sports coats on sale, 50% off. Looking for that wedding or prom tuxedo? Stop renting when you can buy one for $89.99 or less. Follow them on Facebook and Twitter, 666-6598.
I've been here since I was 15. It's like home to me. Rich Ray, it's not only beautiful, it's a tight-knit community. At Woody's, we cut our meat fresh every day, hand cut. It's no preservatives. It's fresh to you right off the truck. We offer the fresh produce delivered to us twice a week from the beautiful Blue Ridge Parkway. Here at Woody's, we offer a great bargain price on Nice's sausage, and we make our own sausage daily. Come see us at Woody's, we're everybody's family.
Need a small home repair but can't afford to pay high contractor prices? Call the House Doctor. With over 25 years of experience in small home repair, you can call him now and save 50% off the service call. He'll even give you a free estimate. Remember, the House Doctor, 340-2072.
There are many reasons to choose Monroe Muffler Brake and Service for all of your car's maintenance, repair, and tire needs. We work on your schedule with convenient evening, Saturday, and even Sunday hours. We've earned our customers' trust with over 50 years of guaranteed quality service. And one more popular reason is Monroe's Oil Change and More for only $19.99. Plus, we'll rotate your tires, check tire pressure, and inspect your brakes for free. Trust Monroe to keep your car and your family safe. For dealer quality service for less, it's Monroe Muffler Brake and Service.
Dr. David Jones welcomes Dr. Nicole Deshawn. Please come by and say hello to Dr. D, 25 Cleveland Avenue, Suite E, or call for an appointment, 638-8888.
There can be miracles when you believe. When you believe. Oh, hope is free. It's hard to get.
Welcome back, everyone. And if you missed our first half of our show, we had just finished talking with Warren Rodgers Jr., the Executive Director of Citizens Against Family Violence, and he was letting us know what Citizens Against Family Violence does and who they are and why they're important in the community. And now for this second half of the show, I would like to introduce you to Kevin. Kevin is an advocate from Colorado. So why do you need to meet Kevin? Well, sometimes it's good to have different perspectives. And for Kevin, he is an advocate who is a male, for one, and the other reason, he's from a totally different state. So it's good for us to be able to see how people that may come from different cultures, how they come together to agree on thoughts and opinions about sexual assault. So we're going to go to this video clip, and it'll take a couple minutes, and then we'll be back.
Kevin Kelly. As an advocate, more on the sexual assault side, but really all of gender violence. I've never really thought of myself as a secondary survivor, but it probably would apply to my experiences as well. It started with a friend who disclosed in high school, and that really just showed me how clueless I was to know about sexual assault, and that kind of led me down a path of trying to help her and understand the best ways of doing that, and it all just snowballed on top of that. My interest just kept growing and growing. I was definitely clueless, and I felt very helpless to help her, or at least come to her aid. Fortunately, there were some resources out there, so I definitely focused on trying to learn as much as I could. She was very much in the early stages of dealing with it. Her assault had happened just a few days prior to her telling me, so she was in the process of going through the medical treatment and then also just processing everything. It was more, I wanted to make sure that I was saying the right things and not saying anything that would be accusatory or anything like that. I wanted to make sure that the information I had and my thought process on it was going to be as helpful and supportive as it could be. I have, yeah. I've had one partner who disclosed fairly early on in the relationship that she was a survivor. Yeah, there was definitely some difficult times at the beginning with me and Allie. Right at the beginning of our relationship was also when she was beginning to identify as a survivor and really come to terms with her assault and really wanted to start dealing with that. She was dealing with some significant symptoms of what she would eventually find out was PTSD. So working through those things, flashbacks, night terrors, those sorts of things was definitely a process. But she handled it really well. She was very brave and really sought out the right help. It wasn't terribly difficult on my end to advocate for. I really just needed to be supportive. Obviously, it was very difficult to see her going through all these things. But in terms of strain on the relationship, it really wasn't. It wasn't bad outside of seeing her in so much pain and really struggling to get through everything. It's still something I'm very aware of. At the time, I did not know what would trigger her, and neither did she. So it was kind of a really difficult learning process of, okay, touching you this way, saying something like this, being in this social situation, these lead to flashbacks or just any type of trigger that makes her feel uncomfortable. So now that we're 4 years down the road from that, it's become a lot easier. I know what things may trigger her, and she has a much better handle on those things. So at the beginning, it was very much a learning process for the both of us. I think sexual assault needs what I would describe as a paradigm shift in its approach. I think crisis centers are hugely important, but there's been too much of an emphasis on them and not enough of an emphasis on prevention. I really think that just like in any crime, you should be holding perpetrators accountable, not survivors. Obviously, we live in a society where victim blaming is kind of the starting point of sexual assault after it's occurred, and it would be much better to just focus on stopping perpetrators from perpetrating the crime. Yeah, victim blaming to me anyways just means putting the blame on the survivor rather than the perpetrator. The classics are always, she was too drunk, she was wearing something slutty, she brought this on herself, she didn't really say no, she didn't fight back. Anything where you are putting the responsibility on the survivor or just on women in general to stop sexual assault, that really to me is not fair at all. It's not their responsibility to ensure their safety when they're in a social situation or with somebody they care about, or just walking down the street. You wouldn't blame a survivor of somebody who tried to murder them. You would blame the murderer or the attempted murder. It should be the same thing with sexual assault. Fortunately, there's a lot of well-meaning people and systems out there. I just feel that they're lacking. I feel that we could do a much better job in supporting survivors and also working to prevent it. I really feel like that is just an aspect that's totally lacking in our society. We've just accepted the fact that sexual assault will happen, boys will be boys, and that they're going to act like this. So the current model of prevention is, again, putting the responsibility on survivors. They are tasked with not walking alone at night, knowing self-defense, not drinking too much, not wearing things that could be considered provocative. I would like to see it shift more to a focus on the perpetrators, predominantly men, just because they're predominantly the ones perpetrating. I would like to see things focused more on gender identity. I think masculinity plays a huge role in sexual assault. So focusing on being a man does not mean being disrespectful to sexual partners, forcing it upon them, making sure that they are aware that women are every much their equal, I think will have a tremendous impact on rates of sexual assault. So I was on the hotline at Moving to End Sexual Assault. They are the Rape Crisis Center in Boulder, Colorado. The main focus of it was to provide 24-hour crisis intervention. So typically survivors who would be calling would be in some state of crisis or looking for resources. So really all you were doing was helping them kind of calm down. I worked a lot of overnights. I don't have a lot of experience working with male survivors. I think because of social norms, it's pretty rare for men to come forward and identify. I don't believe I ever had one actually while I was on the hotline. Like I said, I think there's just so much shame and guilt forced upon male survivors that it's really difficult for them to come forward even in a confidential setting like that. Don't be ashamed. It's absolutely not your fault that you were sexually assaulted. Again, the responsibility is on the perpetrator, and that there is no shame in seeking support and that you have every right to be happy. that you should really pursue that if and when you're ready. People, it becomes so second nature to make jokes about sexual assault, gender, anything like that. They'll even start to do it around women, and the potential of triggering a survivor is so great in that situation. I was very lucky to have a few sociology professors who really taught me about the ideas of patriarchy, sexism, feminism, and really piqued my interest in those subjects and taught me a lot about ideas on gender and what it means to be male, female, or anything else. In terms of culture, I'm a huge believer that people see examples, especially in TV and movies and music, that really perpetuate these ideas that it's really not that big of a deal. Rape jokes, things about that really put it in terms of comedy for whatever reason. In terms of friends that I've had, I really think anything that is sexist, misogynistic, I really feel like those things are perpetuate, I should say, sexual assault, and this rape culture is the current term that people will use for it. I think it's definitely a choice you have to make in your head. My experience is most of my friends know me as that person now who will call them out, and I don't think they avoid it completely in their life, but they will avoid saying things like that around me. And that's not always the best feeling. You don't necessarily want to be that person where people feel like they have to walk on eggshells around. I really feel like that, at the very least, kind of leads by example and shows people that you have respect for women, that you have respect for survivors, and that you're not okay with sexual assault.
And we appreciate Kevin and his perspective on sexual assault violence. And as you note in the video, Kevin addressed different resources that were available in his area, and I want to remind you of resources that are available for you in our local community. We have our local 24-hour crisis hotline at 1-877-934-3576. Also, we have our number at Citizens Against Family Violence, our hotline number, which is 276-632-8701. If you would like to reach us in regards to the show, please email us at startbybelieving@cafv.info. And that wraps up our show for today. I hope you have a great afternoon, and remember that today is a good day to start by believing.
There can be miracles when you believe. When you believe. Oh, hope is friend. It's hard to get.
Jim Mills Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is proud to announce the new arrivals for 2015. Jeep lovers will be impressed with the new Jeep Renegade look and style. The all-new Dodge Challenger and Dodge Charger are redesigned with sleek lines and luxury. The new Ram Rebel offers an off-road experience. It's an exciting year to buy at Jim Mills Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Visit us across from the Martinsville Speedway or visit us online at jimmillscdjr.com.
How's that 4G LTE? Hold on. You sure you got service? Yeah, I've got US Cellular. Okay, here it is. Pretend you're a tree.
US Cellular built coverage way out here, so you can search the web in a pinch.
I can't believe the tree thing worked.
4G LTE towers where you don't expect it. US Cellular.
Come visit one of our locations at 301 Liberty Street in Martinsville and 324 TV Stanley Highway in Bassett. Also with locations in Eden and Reedsville.
You're watching BTW 21, your neighborhood network, the pride of Martinsville.